Welcome again. My name is David Agia, and I'm the president of the Ataturk Society of America. And it's my honor and privilege to welcome you all to Ataturk Society's celebration event for the centennial anniversary of the Turkish Republic. Amongst our distinguished guests here today are esteemed members of the Washington Diplomatic Corps. First Officer Ayşegül Durakoğlu and Ayla Bayramov of Azerbaijan. Ambassador Georgi Panyotov of Bulgaria. Foreign Policy Officer Daniel Lafra of Hungary. Ambassador and Mrs. Mercan of the Republic of Turkey. Military Attaché and Brigadier General Hakan and Ayça Can, also of the Republic of Turkey. Congressional Staffer Richard Chalky, representing the Office of the Representative Nancy Mace. Former Congressman Tim Petrie, intrepid reporter from Tele1, author, and one of our tireless supporters, dear Yılmaz Polat. Ms. Claudia Morales, chair of the Library of Congress Music Department. Sculptor Jeffrey Paul, whose pieces you may have seen adorning a lot of public spaces across the U.S., who though is also the creator of our one and only Atatürk statue on Sheridan Circle, which is the only Atatürk statue on public land in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't get to say this much, if ever. I've never said this before, so you can please bear with me while I do, and hold out one specific guest amongst you. I never get to say this. There's a Nobel laureate amongst us. That's physicist Bill Phillips here. Thank you. And last but not least, a very special thanks to a very special leader and luminary, Professor Esma Akın, thanks to whom we are able to host you today at the prestigious Cosmos Club. Folks, we've gathered here today on the centennial of 1923, the year the Turkish Republic was born. So what is the Turkish Republic? It's an idea that rises on the fundamental pillars of the Kemalist revolution and principles. It's the natural culmination, years in the making, of the Turkish National War of Independence that Atatürk started, but prosecuted on and off the battlefield. It's the declaration that followed the national struggle, unprecedented victories against mighty and much stronger opponents, against collaborators, against poverty. And it's the declaration that marked the beginning of a series of steps that transformed Turkey and the Turkish nation from the smoldering ruins of a sunken empire into a modern, secular, democratic example to the developing world. Yes, it's all that and more. The Turkish Republic is arguably the only revolutionary movement in the 20th century that remains successful to this day. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the leader, the architect, and the implementer of this revolution, emerged a personality that tried to earn the trust, respect, and love, not only of his own nation, his own people, but of many others across the civilized world. And why is that? Brilliance. Not in military might, statesmanship, governing philosophy, leadership alone, but in all of it makes political greatness. According to psychiatrist, researcher, and author Arnold Ludwig, and the political greatness scale he created as a result of his 18 years of research, in his words, into why rulers rule, why rulers want to rule, and what distinguishes them from other people, Atatürk emerged as the greatest political leader of the 20th century amongst 20,000, almost 20,000 leaders that he investigated. The ideals and principles upon which the Turkish Republic stands, the ideas and principles that are perhaps the most astounding product of Atatürk's greatness, are able to meet both the national and international requirements and demands of the democratic society and government that all of humanity seeks. In that sense, and in the observations of luminaries like Arnold Ludwig or Özer Ozanbay alike, the fundamentals of the Turkish Republic, which Atatürk ran alongside the National War of Independence that also was a shining example for people across the world, are entirely a civilization project or democratic social engineering. Turkey, the new power of the West, agrees and says the following about the Turkish Revolution and its leader. Neither Cromwell, nor Robespierre, nor Lenin, and those after them have tried to guide the nations they led towards scientific philosophy, methodical thinking, in short, towards being able to change their own future. Through Mustafa Kemal's drive, Turkey understood that it did not only need skilled workers, technicians, engineers, but on the contrary, required philosophers of science and founders of methodology to steer this path. Mustafa Kemal, therefore, according to him, brought the most fitting approach to the most pressing problem of civilization that all of humanity is struggling with, which is how strong technology provided by modern science will be utilized. Reading between the lines, Duma is alluding to the distinction between using science, technology, knowledge, and advancement for humanity versus using them to assert domination over others or other nations. Similarly, German philosopher Herbert Marcuse observed the following in his book, Kemal Atatürk, The Fall and Rise of Turkey. Great philosopher Plato's 2,000-year-old wish that statesmen be philosophers, or wise men, or philosophers be statesmen, has finally come true in the 20th century in the personality of Atatürk. Atatürk's a genius. He took his nation's fate into his own hands. With a war of independence, he embarked upon with his nation and a peace that protected the rights of other nations. He set a remarkable example for all of humanity. With him, the new Turkey rose above not only its own past and present, but also above the world. Turkey pursues a policy of honesty, sincerity, and realism that steers clear of disappointment, failure, and conflict. My goal here, of course, is not to list quote after quote after quote, and I'm pretty sure we don't have the room through the weekend. But my point here is that all that was done, starting with when Atatürk's government philosophy, his views towards democracy, the rule of law, economy, science, secular governance, and many other concepts that are fundamental to the republic, to a republic, were all being shaped through his experience, interactions, and studies, through Kurtuluş Savaşı or the National War of Independence, through countless hours of coordination, consensus building, debate, negotiation, and decision-making in and on the edges of the Turkish Grand National Assembly, while all of that was being said and done, on the battlefield through blood and treasure, and off the battlefield, to be that revolutionary agent of change and replace centuries-old way of governance, education, law, and society, but more to the core, thinking, learning, and questioning. All of it is important. And the Turkish Republic, standing tall on Atatürk's ideals and principles, is the realization of it. And the fact that some of us are here today, as educated, independent individuals who proudly adopt these ideals and principles, who can look into the future, look on the horizon, and see a world based on those same ideals and principles, is very much a natural result of this republic. Thank you again for joining us for this celebration. And now, please welcome.
a great honor to present this concert to celebrate the centennial anniversary of the Turkish Republic in Washington, D.C. We started our program with music composed by the first generation of the newly established Republic in 1923. The pioneers of the Turkish polyphonic music like Ray, Erkin, and Saygun greatly contributed to the development of this genre following Ataturk's initiative. Among the prominent political leaders of the 20th and the 21st centuries, not many articulated the significance of cultural development. Music, in particular, have a special place in Atatürk's goals to advance the Turkish culture. In a speech dated on November 1st, 1934, he said, I'm quoting, "Friends, I know you want our generation to be advanced in all kinds of arts. In my opinion, the Turkish music has priority and urgency in this respect. There can be no revolution without music." And this is how the polyphonic music tradition started in the Republic of Turkey. And now we will be performing a folk song from Rumeli, Seramiki, and that's one of Atatürk's favorite songs. Even though Atatürk wanted to bring polyphony to Turkish musical culture, but his heart was with the people. And he sang Turkish folk songs and by heart. And this particular song was his favorite folk song. The title is Bülbülüm Altın Kafeste, My Nightingale in Gold Cage. And we would like to dedicate this piece to the founder of Ataturk Society of America, David Agia,